here with a book review on the Wren and the Holly Library. I've been calling this a paranormal romance with dystopian feels. I've seen a lot of urban fantasy as well. I'm not an expert, but I would say urban fantasy, to me at least, the city still needs to be fictional. I mentioned that not so you change the way you classify things, just so you know what you're getting into when I classify things. The paranormal elements in this, we're getting a lot of magical creatures, and the dystopian feels comes from a post-war New York City. In terms of romance trope, I had a hard time with that as well. Everybody's calling this enemies to lovers, and I don't agree with that either. So maybe I'm the problem. But I would call this like partners in crime or like a workplace-ish romance. I just talked about how I don't go off on rants and that my book reviews are very formulated videos, but enemies to lovers, not everything with a bad first impression is enemies to lovers. Okay. Back to regular programming. This is medium spicy. We're going to be following FMC Kierce, who grew up on the streets thieving. And when she was hired to break into the Holly Library, she gets way more than she bargained for. See, she lives in NYC that had a many years war full of monsters. And that was only stopped by a monster treaty. And Kierce just broke that treaty by breaking into a very powerful monster's home. The good news, Graves, the powerful monster in question, is really interested in Kierce's thieving skills. So he offers Kierce a job, a deal, a bargain, a partnership, if you will. And so Kierce is thrown into the monster side of her world. I gave this 4 stars. I really liked the premise. I really liked the paranormal or fantasy elements in this, and I really liked the characters. Where I wanted more was more from the romance side of things. I felt like the romance itself was a little bit lackluster in this book. I think it gets better in the second book. I don't know, I just felt like it could have been drawn out a little bit more. I could have seen a little more slow progression. And then there's something that's hard for me to quantify, to tell you what I didn't like, other than I had a hard time with this particular piece. I don't know if it was the writing style. I don't know if it was the world building itself, but I constantly got to a spot and I was like, wait, should I know about this? Did they tell me about this? Let me go back and read a couple pages. Why does it feel like I should know what's going on? And I don't. I don't know. Sometimes I need to be smacked with the point, and I guess I just wasn't with this, but it also didn't feel like foreshadowing, like I would eventually learn it. It felt like I should already know it somehow, and I missed it. But all in all, a good start to a series. I don't remember if I showed you how pretty this is when I probably put it on a TBR or something along those lines. I just wanted to show you now. It's not one of those books that it's pretty so it's not a good book on the inside. While I had a couple qualms with it, I think it's solid despite the sprayed edges and the pretty treatment. Final thought, I didn't see Beauty and the Beast a ton in this, so I just don't agree with the marketing of this book, but it is good.